The marathon continues here on a Saturday morning. Here's the good thing for players, coaches, and us broadcasters. When the weekend's over, everybody's going to feel sort of like it's a midseason form. As far as I'm concerned, I'll have a real good handle on everything going on with boys basketball here in western Nebraska. Hope it's been a good start to your Saturday morning. Welcome in as we've got day 3 coverage of this year's Western Conference Tournament boys action right here at Scottsbluff High School. Of course, KNEB.TV coverage for all 18 games of this year's boys and girls tournaments for the Western Conference as we start the season off with a bang on the Rural Radio Network Scottsbluff. Allo's been kind enough to add that second channel. We've got coverage for you all morning and afternoon long on Allo Channel 15 and Allo Channel 190, KNEB.TV as well. And for our Scottsbluff and Gering boys basketball games today, coverage on KMOR 93.3 FM. It's been a bonanza so far. Jeff's had 6 games from here at Scottsbluff. I've had 6 games from over at Gering. We switched spots today. I'll have all 3 boys contests for you, and Jeff will be over at Gering today with the finale of the girls tournament. 3 games over that direction. Of course, a couple of late nights on Thursday and Friday, and we get started much, much earlier here to wrap up day 3 action with start times of 10 noon and 2. So here is the schedule for today here at Scottsbluff for the boys. Up first, we're going to have the Sidney and Gering matchup. Both these teams are 0-2 so far in the tournament. Pair of 1-1 teams then tip off at noon with Mitchell and Chadron, and then Scottsbluff and Alliance, the expected championship game. That's what we got coming up at 2 o'clock a little bit later on today. So looking forward to wrapping up weekend number 1 for girls and boys high school basketball here in western Nebraska. Some other games, obviously, with everybody else getting started in the region, whether it be Thursday last night and many other teams playing maybe their second girl-boy doubleheader this weekend. So all around the Panhandle, action is up and running right now for the high school basketball season. Up first here for our matchup, right out of the gate, as mentioned, it'll be Sidney and Gering. For Sidney so far in this tournament, night 1 loss to top seed Alliance by the final of 60-45. Last night they had a slim lead at halftime of 4 against Chadron, and then Chadron outscored the Red Raiders by 11 in the second half. The final was Chadron a winner 47-40. For Gering, an 8-point loss on opening night to Mitchell, 63-55. And then last night, it was Gering falling in their matchup with Alliance. That final was 42-37. And in that game, Jack Franklin scored 24 of the 37 points for Gering. And in fact, Franklin and Brent Pazanka combined, that senior backcourt duo combined for 34 of their 37. It looks like Max Greeley is suited up. He missed the first 2 games of this season, so they're going to need to find that third offensive scoring option, and Greeley could be exactly that. The sophomore could join in the backcourt with Brent Pazanka and Jack Franklin. We've got just under 11 minutes till tip-off here at Scottsbluff High. Limited fan attendance, of course, set for household members only, and it's been definitely a different feel in the gyms for those, in the high school basketball scene. Now, look, I was at state basketball last year for the boys. You had those spacious gyms and household members only, and then this year at the tail end of the volleyball season, sub-district tournament over at Gering was exactly the same situation with limited fan attendance and household members only. So a few folks maybe a little bit used to it, but kind of a brand new thing, and that's where our partnership with all these great sponsors and Allo Communications comes into play for this opening weekend, getting all these games for all the basketball fans and grandparents and folks that can't be in the gyms the ability to watch, whether it be on your laptop or on TV. So many great sponsors to thank. We'll start with a few right now, like BNC Steel, Buyers Realty, WNCC, Extreme Dents, Platte Valley Companies, and Panhandle Auto Group. We'll let you know who the rest of them are. Everybody making a difference for basketball fans that can't be in the gym this opening weekend. Coming up here, we'll catch up with Gering head basketball coach Kyle Cotton. And, boy, I gave the coaches the morning off as far as waiting on the phone call from me. So went back into the archives from last night, picked out the post-game interviews, and I've got that plugged in. It really wasn't that long ago last night at around 9:45 with my visit with Gering head coach Kyle Cotton. We'll get to pregame coaches' comments brought to you by The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing coming up right after this when we come back on the Rural Radio Network.
Some people think Allstate only protects your car. Here's the truth. Allstate can also protect your home or apartment, as well as your boat, motorcycle, RV, and snowmobile, and even your retirement and your life. Not many insurance companies can say that, but Allstate can.
Bundle and save with Allstate. In Gering, call Allstate agent Michael Engelhop for a quote today at 308-436-2123.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by B&C Steel, Buyers Realty, WNCC, Extreme Dense, and by Platte Valley Companies.
Looks like we'll get some coaches' comments coming up here with Gering head man Kyle Cotton. Appreciate Coach stopping up after a tough one here at home tonight. Night number 2, Gering falls to 0-2. They drop one to Alliance 42-37. Coach, really kind of a defensive-oriented game on both sides tonight. Overall thoughts coming out of this one on how you think you might have played?
Defensively, I thought we played excellent. To hold them to 42, I mean, that's a win right there. Most times you hold a team at Class B to 42, you get a W. We just didn't have enough help for Jack Franklin tonight. He's been playing excellent these last 2 days on offense and on defense. We just got to have someone else step up on offense. The one run in the third quarter there was the difference. You know, a few turnovers and them hitting some shots and some layups. Yeah, that's really the difference right there.
Jack 24, Brett had 10. Outside of that, everyone else combined for just 3 points tonight. So trying to find some other guys to score besides your top two is going to be key moving forward. You mentioned that defense, and I thought Brett in the first half against Case and Clark was outstanding. Really did a great job getting up into him every time he caught the basketball, fought around from the backside with a size mismatch working against him. Tip of the cap to Brett for his first half effort defensively.
Yeah, I thought he played excellent the whole game. You know, Clark ended up with 18.
Yeah.
And he had to earn every single one of them. So super proud of the effort of Brett, but, you know, it was a good team defensive effort. I thought everyone was flying around. The late push there, we've done that twice in a row now, so it might be something we have to look at. But Brett was awesome on the defensive end. I thought everyone was.
Yeah, you mentioned when we spoke this morning you liked the fight and kind of the mentality your guys showed last night, and some of that same tonight. I know there's no such thing. You don't want those moral victories, but fighting all the way to the final whistle's got to make you feel pretty proud.
Yeah, you know, we got all these young guys playing key minutes, and they're coming in. They're not afraid to shoot. They're not afraid to defend. You know, we're asking them to do a lot as sophomores, but they're stepping up. Our big guys played well underneath as well. We just didn't score very well. And Alliance is a good team. You know, they've been in the state tournament, 2-3 years in a row, or 4 out of the last 5, or, you know, so we know what we have to do, and we're so close, Chris. You know, I just hope we can get over that hump and play a full 32 minutes.
Yeah, Jack's been outstanding. Had 20 last night, 24 tonight, and really tried to do it all himself. Not really do it all himself, but had to score it all himself in the fourth quarter to keep you in it when he got 12 of his 24. He's been great. Yeah,
last night he scored a bunch in the fourth quarter as well. Like I said, we just got to find him a little bit of help. It'll help tomorrow having Max Greeley back. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. So, you know, he can play the point for us and spread the floor and give us another ball handler out there. Maybe give some take some pressure off our big guys and especially Brett and Jack.
A little bit of a different bracket setup. So is this correct? Are you going to play Shadron at noon tomorrow?
I believe we play at 10.
So you're going to play
Sidney
at 10, and that would mean Mitchell would play Shadron in the noon game. Okay, so you'll play Sidney at 10, a much improved Sidney team.
Yes.
I know they were up tonight at halftime in the first game here, got outscored by 11 in the second half, but last night Dickman, I think, scored 18. They've got a sophomore, Micah Schneider, who kind of got a crafty game to himself and good little passer, can do some work with the ball in his hands. So, look, nothing's going to come easy right now, so these guys, your kids are going to have to come ready and dialed in.
Yeah, Sydney's playing much better than they were last year. They're scrappy. They play hard. They're physical. They have, a good fight to them. And we're going to have to come in. We're going to have to play well. We're going to have to play well on defense, and hopefully we can find some offense to go along with it.
There you have it from Kyle Cotton. Coach, appreciate you stopping up after a tough loss tonight. Rest up, and best of luck in the morning.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you over at Scottsbluff.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
Many people count on space heaters and electric blankets to help stay warm in the winter. Here are a few safety tips. Space heaters need space all around them. Only buy space heaters that are tested and labeled by a national recognized facility. Before using a space heater or electric blanket, inspect the cord for cracks or worn spots. Finally, turn off electric blankets when not in use. Space heaters and electric blankets can provide needed comfort or can be deadly if not used with care. So use caution this winter season. This message is brought to you by Chimney Rock Public Power District, your touchstone energy partner, the power of human connections.
KNEB.TV coverage as well from here at Scottsbluff High School. We'll have all three boys contests for you here from the home of the Bearcats. What about that girls Western Conference tournament? Here's the way things are shaking out for today. The championship game will be over at Gering. All three games at Gering. Championship game, we'll work backwards here. 2 o'clock, Chadron and Scottsbluff. In the noon game, game number 2, Mitchell and Gering. And then in the early contest, it'll be Alliance and Sidney getting sent to temp with Jeff Kelly. He's got those on KNEB.TV and also 106.9 The Trail. Chris Cottrell here with you from our Logos broadcast booth. Our location here, second level. Logos, they're your home for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. You can shop the showroom or have something custom made at Logos, 1344 10th Street in Gering. We heard postgame coaches' comments last night just a few moments ago from Gering head man Kyle Cotton, and obviously a key to the game today for Gering, brought to you by Team Auto Center, home of the lifetime warranty, and you get that with every new vehicle there from Team Auto. Key to the game for Gering today going to be finding a little bit of offense outside the two usual suspects in Brett Pazank and Jack Franklin. So far this season, Franklin has games of 20 and 24. Pazank has scored 16 and 10, and really there has been little to be found outside of that tandem early this season. They'll get sophomore Max Greeley back into the mix today. Talented sophomore who can handle, who can score it. Missed the first 2 games. His minutes went steadily up late last year to where I believe in the sub-district tournament he was playing around 15 to 20 minutes a game for Gering as they were starting to try and get him developed a little bit at the varsity level. So we'll look to see what Greeley is able to put forth out on the game floor coming up here this morning. Tip just a few minutes away. Looks like both these teams starting to wrap up their warm-ups. And we'll get playing of the national anthem here shortly. We'll step away for that, and then when we come back, we'll have the introduction of our starting lineups. Boys Western Conference Tournament action, Day 3. All 3 games for the boys here at Scottsbluff High School. And again, big thanks to many of our sponsors for helping out with the TV coverage this week. And that, of course, includes Allo for getting us that second channel, and some other folks like The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing, John's Body Shop, Chimney Rock Chiropractic, Prime Metal Products, and Papa Murphy's. Our own Bill Boyer handling PA duties here the last 3 days. He is on the loud mic right now, and limited fan attendance set to household members only, so very thankful we're able to have these games available for all the basketball fans in the Panhandle to kind of, sit back, stay safe, stay at home, and enjoy some prep hoops. Let's step away right now. We'll come back and get you starting lineups right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Michelle Perkins of Remax Regency. After branching out, I've returned home to my roots, to the land from which I came and my family has held for 5 generations.
Michelle truly understands what home means and treats you like family as she guides you through the buying and selling process, bringing the latest pricing tools that are not currently being used in this area to sell your home at the highest price in the least amount of time, and to ensure that you do not overpay when buying.
So just give me a call, kick back, Remax, and settle down.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Panhandle Auto Group, Runza Restaurants, The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing, and by Chimney Rock Chiropractic.
Fan attendance, household members only. Quiet setting here in the gym for the most part. We'll get the ball bouncing here in just a couple moments. Right now, as we get set for Sidney and Gering boys action, we'll get you the introduction of our starting lineups. Gering will be in the road blue uniforms for today. Sidney will be in their home whites. Both these teams 0-2 to start the season. Somebody going to get out of here with their first win today, feel a little bit better about the weekend. Somebody going to have to regroup at 0-3. For Gering, Brent Pazanka, 6'1 senior, averaging 13 points a game through the first 2. Jack Franklin is averaging 22, 6'1 senior. Hunter Hayden, a 5'11 senior, scored 5 points in the first couple of games. Caden Bonsack down low, a 6'2 sophomore, and Sam Rushlow, a 6'3 junior. That's your starting 5 for the Gering High Bulldogs, led by second-year head coach Kyle Cotton. Now what about the Sidney Red Raiders and their fine head coach Austin Lewis? Sawyer Dickman scored 18 on opening night. 19, my mistake. 19 on opening night, had 6 last night. He's a junior. Zach Burke, a senior, averaging 4 a game. Wouldn't be surprised if he breaks out with a little bit more offense here today. I like what I've seen from sophomore Micah Schneider, a sophomore. He scored 12 and 6 on back-to-back nights. Wyatt Heckenlively, a junior, in the starting lineup, and Dylan Gunkel, a senior. We're just about ready for our opening tip. Brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza in Scottsbluff, 2801 Avenue B. Always love there at Papa Murphy's, where it's love at 425 degrees. Ball in the air. Sidney controls the tip. And, folks, we are underway, the first of 3 on KNEB.TV. And we'll have the Scottsbluff and Gering boys games for you here on 93.3 KMOR. Dylan Gunkel took a little contact, and they're going to get the whistle blown, wipe away the bucket. An early turnover for Sidney on a walk from Gunkel. Third game in 3 days for these teams, so tired legs who can bounce back and find some energy will be key. And, of course, Gering played in the late game last night. Poked away for Gering on the offensive end. They'll inbound down along the baseline near the corner. Jack Franklin bounces it into Brent Pazanka. Brent puts it on the deck, reaching in. Ball knocked away from him. It's loose on the floor. Sidney forces the turnover. They get it out to Gunkel, and 2 trips down the floor for Sidney, and a pair of travel violations called against Dylan Gunkel. If it's any consolation, he's at least seen the ball go through the net twice. Pazanka, high screen from Rushlow. On the screen and roll action, they almost turn it over. They get it down low. Now they whip it out to Hunter Hayden, and Hayden walks with it. 4 turnovers on the first 4 possessions combined in this one. Micah Schneider, sophomore. Mentioned he's crafty. Not the best athlete on the floor, but he makes a lot of good basketball plays. Missed shot, Sidney's Sawyer Dickman. Ball loose on the floor. We get a whistle and a jump ball, and the possession arrow will give it to the Bulldogs. We've got 6:55 to play here in our first quarter. And we get a quick substitution now as Joseph Van An comes on. For the Bulldogs, Brent Pazanka brings it into the front court. Pazanka top of the key. Now with it, Jack Franklin. He's been awesome through two, averaging 22. Scored 20 on opening night against Mitchell. Had 24 last night. Bonsack backs his man down into the paint area. Now it's Franklin on the drive, and Jack Franklin goes strong to the rack, and he's got the first 2 points of the game. A little over a minute and a half gone by. Gunkel gives it to Wyatt Heckenlively. Heckenlively in the paint. He'll bank it off the square, and he's got his first 2 points of the season. Now Franklin, as Gering pushed it into the front court quickly. Van An, left side on the wing. Lobs it down low to Rushlow. Shot blocked. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. This could go against Sawyer Dickman coming over on help side defense. First team foul on the Red Raiders, shooting foul, so 2 at the line now for Rushlow. Gets the first. Second rolls off the iron right side. Ball loose underneath. Grabbed by Micah Schneider. Tipped away by Joseph Van An. Showed a lot of hustle and grit to his game last night. 3-2 lead for Gering. Sidney basketball, and here's Zach Burke. He's been quiet scoring. 6 and 2 so far, but he's capable, and they've got Jack Franklin on him, so pretty tough matchup offensively. Now Dickman on the drive, can't score it. Little Euro steps, able to get by the defender. Gunkel underneath, misses a stick back, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball. It'll stay with Sidney this time. .5:38 to play here in the opening quarter. Early lead for Gering at 3-2. Inbounds pass comes to Heckenlively. Heckenlively in the paint. Gets his second bucket of the ball game. Scoreless the first 2 nights. He gives Sidney the early 4-3 lead. Now Brett Pazanka. Game number 2 here will be Shadron and Mitchell. We get an offensive foul called on Sam Rushlow. Moving screen out high. Sidney gets it back with a 1-point lead, 4-3, coming up on 5:15 to play in the opening quarter. Sawyer Dickman, big scoring night on opening night. There's Zach Burke, and he cans a triple from the right corner. And now a 4-point margin here early for Sidney. Rushlow, now Pazanka left wing. They dump it down low to Bonsack. He's got Gunkel on him. They look opposite into the hands of Van An, and the mid-range jumper falls for Joseph Van An. Gering back to within 2, 7-5. Gunkel now in the right corner. Schneider, he's going to shoot the 3. That's off the mark. Van An darts in and grabs the rebound from his guard position. Dropping down. Chance for Gering to tie. They get it down low. Schneider defending against Rushlow. We're going to get a foul called on Micah Schneider. And Rushlow at the stripe. Jacob Dowse and Connor Hartzler, a couple of early substitutions for Sidney. Max Greeley's on the floor for the first time this season now for Gering. Rushlow converts on the first. He's 2 for 3 at the line early. Misses the second. Rebound grab by Hartzler. They get it to Schneider. He'll slow his dribble up and hand it to Burke. Burke works against Jack Franklin. Burke into the paint. Down low, and that'll be a turnover committed by Sidney. Errant pass from Burke. First quarter, 4:05 to play. Sidney gets a steal. Burke Takes it away from Greeley, and now Gering gets it right back on another Sidney turnover. 7 turnovers combined, and now Gering throws it away. Greeley's coughed it up twice here early. Hartzler spins. He's fouled. No, they're going to get a walk called on Connor Hartzler. 5 Sidney turnovers, 3 from the Bulldogs. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Greeley handles the basketball. Starts middle, stays middle of the floor, picks up his dribble. Franklin on the catch near the left corner. He's into the paint, and jump ball, the call. It'll be possession arrow. They'll keep it with the Bulldogs. They've got all 5 lined up at the free throw line. Nobody ready to take it in. Now it'll be Joseph Van An. Inbounds pass comes to Franklin. Van An. Little running jump hook across the paint. Offensive rebound was grabbed by Caden Bonsack, and he gets the stick back bucket. 8-7 lead for Gering. One spins out on the Raiders. Outlet pass up ahead. Franklin goes to the rim. Shot blocked. Tip saved in bounds. Sidney has it. Douse throws it ahead to Zach Burke. Burke leaves it underneath. Good look and a finish for Connor Hartzler. A 9-8 lead for Sidney. Physical play away from the basketball. We're going to get a foul called against Hartzler of Sidney. 3rd team foul called against Sidney. Pazanka back in, so that gives it that guard trio right now of Franklin, Greeley, and Pazanka. Max Greeley to Jack Franklin. Little runner, got it off the square. Jack Franklin, a soft touch. Jack has 4. Micah Schneider. Bonsack backing off of him defensively. Schneider will shoot that 3 if he gets that look again. Sawyer Dickman will shoot that 3 and knock it down. Sawyer Dickman had 19 points on opening night in their loss against Alliance. And now Gering throws it away. Dickman, outlet pass up ahead, and that will stay with the Red Raiders. They almost coughed it up. Jaden Dillahay. We'll also see Dylan Gunkel check back in. 2:06 to play here, quarter number 1. Joe Wybera also onto the floor now for Gering for the first time, replacing Sam Rushlow. And Austin Mitchell, a 6'2 senior. Did not see him with any action last night. He's in early here in the opening quarter. Sidney lobs it in to Douse. Gunkel picks up his dribble, looks for help, finds Dickman. Sidney will move the basketball to the right side. That 3 won't go for Schneider, and a rebound for Jack Franklin. Outlet pass up to the right side. Now they dump it down low to Wybera. Almost got the bucket to go. Instead, he's fouled, and he'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Foul goes against Micah Schneider, his second, so that's a big whistle. They'll need him on the floor. Wybera hits the first. Second on the way for Wybera. Connects on a pair of foul shots. 1:40 to play. We're tied at 12 here in the opening stanza. Sawyer Dickman works against Franklin. Now with the basketball, it's Gunkel. Dylan Gunkel whips a pass underneath. Hartzler can't finish. Gering saves it in bounds. Wybera will hand it off to Brett Pazanka. Here comes Pazanka quickly into the front court. And a timeout taken, a 30-second timeout called for by Gering head coach Kyle Cotton. We're tied at 12. We'll stay right here. Quarter 1 of 12 for you today here at Scottsbluff High School. It's more of those KNB.TV sponsors we need to mention for helping make this weekend possible on the TV side. Prime Metal Products, Papa Murphy's, Farm Bureau Sean Harvey. How about Shelter Insurance Travis Hawk, Panhandle Co-op, and Paul Reed Construction. Monument Physical Therapy in Gering. They offer their Bumps and Bruises program for you. It's a great program. 1 free consultation and 1 free follow-up for all area athletes. Monument Physical Therapy there in Gering. We're tied at 12 out of the timeout. Gering basketball. Pazanka, high screen from Wybera. Now Mitchell, back to Wybera. They'll move it to Franklin on the wing left side. Mitchell catches, backdoor cut from Pazanka. No pass made. Brett catches on the left wing. Entry pass down low to Wybera. And Joe Wybera's got 4 points here in the first quarter, coming off the bench, giving Gering a little bit of a post presence down low. Jacob Dowse lofts a pass, too tall and over the head of Dylan Gunkel. 41 seconds to go in the first quarter. Nebraska with a 14-0 lead early on Purdue. Max Greeley goes behind his back, and little driving, running jumper falls for Max Greeley. He's got his first points of the season. We go under 20 seconds to play. 16-12. Gering's got their biggest lead of the morning. Zach Burke on the catch. Burke on the bounce, and a little hand check. I think we'll get a foul called against Pazanka. That'll be his first. Sidney inbounds. Greeley tips it away. Sidney turnover. Greeley on the run. Fouled from behind. That'll be the 5th foul whistled against Sidney so far here in the early going. Shooting foul, 2 at the line now for Greeley. Unavailable the first 2 nights for the Bulldogs. And Greeley converts at the stripe. So Greeley back in action today, and he's chipped in with 3, make it 4 in the first quarter, and Joe Wybera's been big, both literally and figuratively, in this ball game for the Bulldogs. Launching at the buzzer, Dylan Gunkel's 3 is wayward. At the end of the first quarter, Gering off to a good start. They lead Sidney 18-12 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Elite Physical Therapy, FNBO, A. Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
For the past 44 years, Platte Valley Vacuum and Sewing has been serving the Wyobraska area. That's quite a long time. At Platte Valley Vac and Sew, you'll find quality sewing machines, quilting and embroidery machines, even sergers from name brands such as Pfaff and Babylock, both known for their well-made machinery. Keep in mind you'll receive one-on-one lessons with your machine purchase. Platte Valley Vac and Sew also offers a fine selection of 100% cotton quilting fabrics and a great selection of threads and notions to assist you in most any quilting or embroidery project you might have. For all your sewing machine quilting needs, stop by Platte Valley Vac and Sew, downtown Scottsbluff.
High school basketball coverage on KNEB.TV all weekend long. Allo's Channel 15 and 190. And our Scottsbluff boys games today on 93.3 KMOR as we start the second quarter. Gearing out to a 6-point lead on Sidney, 18-12. Good big-to-big look underneath, but unable to finish. Hartzler with the left hand. Gunkel got him the ball. Joseph Van An Now back to Max Greeley. They enter the pass to the post. Caden Bonsack can't get it. Offensive rebound, Sam Rushlow. Gering looks much better here this morning. Coming off the late game last night, they look pretty locked in here on the perimeter. They're getting Rushlow, Bonsack, and Wybera with contributions in the paint. Runner from Franklin, too strong, rebounded by Gunkel. Sidney's not getting a lot of open looks. There's Nolan Hofrock. He gets down low. Heckenlively's shot is swatted away, and now we'll get a whistle, jump ball. Possession arrow will give it to Gering. Sam Greeley has it. Max Greeley. Rushlow posting that side. Poked away. It'll be Gering basketball, far sideline. Van Ann enters to Greeley. Greeley. He'll shoot the runner. Shot was blocked by Sawyer Dickman on the floor. Heckenlively has it. Jump ball, whistle. And Sidney will get it back. And the Sidney girls lead Alliance 20-0 after the first quarter of play over at Gering High School. Sawyer Dickman, now Heckenlively up top, left side with it, Burke. They'll move it right wing, and driving along the baseline, and another whistle and a foul. This will go against Gering, and that's on Joseph Van Ann. First personal, third team foul. Hunter Hayden will come back in for the Bulldogs. They'll lob it in to Gunkel. He went up to catch the pass and shot it all in one motion. First points of the quarter, and it's 18-14. Good look. Block shot. Rushlow had it swatted down low. Saving it in bounds. Nope, that ball touched the baseline. Gering turns it over. Turnover number 5 committed by the Bulldogs. I've got Sidney down unofficially for 6 here so far in the first half. Red Raiders have it in the front court. Gunkel on the drive, too strong off the backboard. Knocked away out of bounds. It'll go over to Gering, 6:20 to play, first half action. Connor Hartzler will come back in, replacing Nolan Hofrock. Jack Franklin goes by the defender. I had his shot partially blocked from behind, and now we're going to get a whistle and a foul. They push. And it looks like this will go on Rushlow. So Rushlow picks up his second. Looks like Joe Wybera might get sent to check back in for Rushlow as they try and keep two post players on the floor. Gunkel with Rushlow defending, and he had to be pretty cautious already with 2. And Gunkel on the drive has the first 4 points of the quarter for Sidney. And the Red Raiders back to within 2, 18-16. Franklin up top to Rushlow, high post extended. Hunter Hayden on the floor. He'll drive to the basket. That won't go. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulldogs. So Wybera comes on for Rushlow. 18-16 our score. Gunkel right side. We've got just under 5.5 to play in the first half. Step back 3 on the way for Zach Burke. Missed badly. Gering had a chance to get out and run, and now Max Greeley turns it over. That's his third turnover. Sawyer Dickman on the drive. Scoop layup with the right hand. Dickman now with 5, and we're tied at 18. Sidney's got all 6 points so far here in the second quarter. Hayden on the catch, and he is fouled by Gunkel, and that'll be the First, I believe, on Gunkel. 7th team foul. 1-and-1 opportunity coming for Hunter Hayden. Hayden at the stripe, hits the first. Had 5 points on opening night. Held scoreless last night. That's the first point of the quarter for Gering. They go back in front by a pair as Hayden hits the second. 2-point lead, 20-18, just under 5 minutes to go in the opening half. High post, Hartzler on the catch, gives it back to Sawyer Dickman, dribbles into a tough shot, offensive rebound, Heckenlively on the backside. Wyatt Heckenlively has 6. Plazanka, dribble handoff, gives it to Franklin. Franklin, now Bonsack. Under 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Hand check and a foul is going to go against Sawyer Dickman, his second. Franklin at the foul line. That'll roll off the iron on the 1-and-1. Zach Burke will push it off the rebound, and then he lost it when he got into the half court up the floor. Pass to Hunter Hayden. He'll put up a 3 off the side of the backboard. Rebound grab by Sidney. Halfway through the second quarter, we just go under the 4-minute mark. Tight ball game. We are tied at 20. Zach Burke. He'll shoot the 3 and knock it down. Zach Burke has his second triple. He's already equaled his high-scoring ball game of the season. He had 6 2 nights ago, and he's got 6 with 3:35 to play in the half. Hayden to Franklin. Now Plazanka. Brett answers with a 3. We're tied at 23. Heckenlively picks up his dribble. Now Sawyer Dickman. Plazanka defends. Gunkel on the wing. He'll put it on the floor. Drive to the rim and a little runner. Middle of the paint area. Snuck it over the front of the iron. And Dylan Gunkel has all 6 of his points here in this second quarter. Gering moving the ball. Now tipped. And it's a turnover. Hayden telegraphed that pass. Cross court. Burke can't finish. Offensive rebound. He's fouled by Hunter Hayden. Fifth team foul. It was a shooting foul, so 2 shots coming for Burke. Zach Burke knocks down the foul shot. I think that's the first free throw attempt of the ball game for Sidney. Heckenlively out. Jacob Dowse back in. Burke misses the second. Offensive rebound, and Hartzler couldn't finish. Getting a little physical with Bonsack running back down to the other end of the floor. 26-23. Sidney has a 2-point lead. Missed shot. Out of bounds, it'll go to Sidney. Now some full court pressure from the Bulldogs, and we've got a man down. As Jack Franklin went up to contest that inbounds pass, and he came down hard on the back of his head, and he had no ability to brace his fall. He went up, made an aggressive play on the inbounds pass, defending. I think he got his legs tangled and really had no ability to get his arms out to sort of brace that fall. We'll take an injury timeout, and hopefully we get Jack Franklin back to his feet and feeling better here quickly. 2:28 to play in the first half, 26-23. Sidney.
You may look forward to spending the seasons with family in your home, but not when these critters come knocking on your door. That's where Benzel Pest Control saves the day. Family owned since 1976, we provide prompt, professional, and efficient services to keep your home or business safe and secure all year round.
With 3 generations and more than 4 decades of service to the Nebraska Panhandle and Southeast Wyoming, Benzel Pest Control is the only name in all seasons pest defense.
At Platte Valley Bank, we realize the way people want to bank in the future may be different than it has been. As comfort levels and desires vary by person, banking may be different for some, yet not for others. We offer the best of both worlds, a traditional banking experience with our friendly tellers and an online or mobile banking option with features that you can personalize and utilize anytime, anywhere you go. So you can bank how you want, when you want, and from where you want to. Platte Valley Bank.
Nasty spill to the floor there for Jack Franklin, just trying to make an aggressive type play as you would expect from a kid like Franklin. Just went up to contest an inbounds pass and just kind of got his body tangled at the trying to high point that basketball and took a spill. Now Max Greeley hits the deck. So Jack able to get to his feet. James Bunk, the Scottsbluff athletic trainer here in the house, walks him over to their bench. They'll probably have to run him through the protocol here. I mean, those head injuries, concussions type things, they're taken pretty seriously nowadays. And we'll hope the best for Jack. Maybe he can get back into this ball game. He's trying to tell him he's fine. Taking some water right now, so on the game floor, we get a foul called on Jacob Van An into the contest for the first time, and it'll be Dylan Gunkel at the line. Gunkel can't convert, won't get the second on the 1-and-1. Here comes Gering with Max Greeley. Jacob Van An up top with it. And the 10-foot stripe for the volleyball court. Now Wybera lost it, but the ball goes off the foot of Connor Hartzler out of bounds. To Gering will stay on this end of the floor. Inbounds pass to Pazanka. 3-ball to tie. Wouldn't go. Offensive rebound. And that'll be a foul on Dylan Gunkel. Caden Bonsack had the offensive rebounding position. And that's the second on Gunkel. 2 apiece for Gunkel, Schneider, and Dickman. So some definite foul trouble worries right now for Coach Lewis and the Raiders. Bonsack has a soft touch at the line, hits the first. Jackson Schlotthauer comes in. Did a good job last night boxing out, grabbing a few rebounds in the second half. Just a tough, kind of hard-nosed kid. Did his job last night when he came in. Bonsack misses the second. 2-point lead for Sidney. They have the basketball, 26-24, here late in the first half. Right side, Dickman. Greeley defends. Dickman finds Gunkel. Gunkel got it from about 5-6 feet away. Dylan Gunkel has 8 all here in the second quarter, and Sidney has their biggest lead of the ball game. They lead by 4. Pazanka on the drive, hangs on the iron, comes off. Jacob Douse, ball loose on the floor. Douse has it. And the foul is going to go against Jackson Schlotthauer. That'll be his first. Jaden Dillahay comes on for Sidney. At the stripe is Douse, and he knocks in the first. Douse, 1 of 2. Van An the board, Jacob Van An. Lead is 5 for the Raiders. Bonsack. Schlotthauer posting. Now defending against Max Greeley. Almost poking it away was Jaden Dillahay. And a reach-in foul is going to go against Dylan Gunkel. He has 3. He'll have to sit. And a simple third before halftime just makes such a huge difference. Not just for the final 56 having to come out, but moving forward once the third quarter gets underway. He'll be one more foul away from a long seat on the bench as Pazanka knocks down the first foul shot. Chris Cottrell with you from our Logos broadcast location. Russell's Automotive, a fine high school sports sponsor for us. They're your family-owned go-to for all those quality automotive repair needs. Couple of makes for Pazanka. His 5 points all coming here in the second quarter. Outlet pass up ahead to Wyatt Heckenlively in the paint. Heckenlively missed, grabbed his own rebound, and stuck it back in. Wyatt Heckenlively having himself a first half. He was scoreless in the first 2 games. He has 8 right now as we're approaching halftime. 31-26. Pazanka. Well, they're giving Pazanka that baseline. He'll take it again. Off the miss. Schlotthauer a rebound. And Jackson Schlotthauer, he'll be rewarded for his hard work down low with a couple of free throws. That foul goes against Wyatt Heckenlively, his first. And Schlotthauer can't knock down the free throw. There's Austin Hoffman, former Gering Bulldog, now an assistant on the staff up off the bench with some coaching tips for Greeley and Van An. Schlotthauer missed them both. Ball got tipped out. He wound up getting it back. Missed 3 ball for Jacob Van An. Here comes Zach Burke. 16 seconds to play. Wyatt Heckenlively, maybe an ill-advised shot, but Dillahay grabs the offensive rebound. 8 seconds to play. Burke in the paint. Shot wouldn't go. Burke grabs the rebound. We're going to get a foul called on Schlotthauer. 9th team foul against Gering, so this will be a 1-and-1 opportunity. Schlotthauer will check out. That's his second. As Joseph Van An comes on. Burke rips the net on the first. Zach Burke has 8 first half points. It'll stay that way. Off the mark on the second. Pazanka will fire it at the buzzer off the iron. We've played 2 quarters, reached halftime here in our 10 a.m. game at Scottsbluff High School. Boys Western Conference Tournament, a triple header here from Scottsbluff today. And at halftime of game number 1, it is Sidney on top of Gering by the score of 32-26 on our West Coast scoreboard.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
Black Friday sale is back at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming for 15 days only. Receive 20% off every replacement window with 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 18 months. So keep your cash and spend ours. Purchase 3 windows and get a $500 Visa card. Purchase 4 to 7 windows and get an $800 Visa card. Or get a $1,500 Visa card when you purchase 8 to 12 windows. Hurry, this offer is only available from November 27th through December 11th. Merry Christmas to you from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. Call 307-215-7493.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
Hey, I want to give a shout-out to former Gering Bulldog, former Scottsbluff assistant basketball coach Josh McBride, now coaching down in Arizona, checking in, watching on KNEB.TV all the way down in Arizona. Hope all's well, Josh, and stay safe and healthy down that direction. Thanks for tuning in and checking out some high school basketball this weekend on KNEB.TV with limited fan attendance. That's a great segue Josh provided, with limited fan attendance and household members only being allowed into the gym. Just another great opportunity for area businesses to step up. You knew they would. They did, and we're able to get all these games for you on the TV side. 18 total from Thursday, Friday, and here today. 3 each day at Scottsbluff and Gering. Some more of those great sponsors like Ideal Linen, Elite Physical Therapy, FNBO, A. Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and Western Nebraska Regional Airport. Halftime of Game 1 for the 3 games here for the boys' side today at Scottsbluff. And here at the break, it's Sidney leading Gering by the score of 32-26. We'll step away, come back. I'll add up the scoring totals, and we'll get you a check on some halftime stats right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Prime Metal Products, Papa Murphy's, Farm Bureau Agent Sean Harvey, and by John's Body Shop.
I've struggled with my weight since I was 13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Prime Metal Products, Papa Murphy's, Farm Bureau Agent Sean Harvey, and by John's Body Shop.
Come in and see gifts for everyone at TC and More. Great gifts are waiting at TC and More, 1621 Broadway, Scottsbluff.
Chris Cottrell with you on KMOR and KNEB.TV. Also on Allo. We've got all games on Channel 15 and 190 this weekend. Let's get to a check on halftime stats. Brought to you by Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Been in business for over 35 years. They also feature the Rockpile Division Service and Equipment. Paul Reed Construction on 10th Street there in Gering. Been a pretty competitive first half. Sidney really got the offense going in the second quarter, a 20-point second quarter. They lead Gering 32-26. They've had 6 players score, and they've spread it out 8 apiece for Dylan Gunkel, Wyatt Heckenlively, and Zach Burke. Sawyer Dickman has 5, 2 points off the bench for Connor Hartzler, and a single free throw for Jacob Dowse. I've got Sidney down unofficially for 8 turnovers, just 2 in the second quarter. What about for Gering? They have had 8 different players score, and they've spread it out as well quite a bit. Brett Pazanka has 5, 4 points apiece for Jack Franklin and Joe Wybera, as well as Max Greeley. 3 points for Caden Bonsack, and then 2 points apiece for Hunter Hayden, Sam Rushlow, and Joseph Van Ann. Check on the numbers brought to you by Paul Reed Construction in the Rockpile Division Service and Equipment. Looks like Jack Franklin's going to be good to go. Ball in his hand, ready to go for some halftime shooting. Trying to find his rhythm once again. We'll step away, come back with more. We're at halftime with Sidney up by 6 on Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Panhandle Auto Group, Runza Restaurants, The Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing, and by Chimney Rock Chiropractic.
Holiday recycling tips.
The holidays bring wrapping paper, boxes, and trees. Remember, when done with these items, recycle them. Wrapping paper can be collected and recycled in one of the city's recycling bins. Boxes can be collapsed and stored to use later or recycled. Finally, your old Christmas tree can be dropped off at this location. This holiday season, give thanks and a start to a healthier new year. Me at Tri-City Stormwater.
Rock of the Bluffs with high school basketball coverage for our late morning, afternoon session here at Scottsbluff. Day 3 of the boys' Western Conference Tournament. Chris Cottrell, glad to have you along here. Halftime score with Gering and Sidney. It's the Red Raiders on top of the Bulldogs by the count of 32-26. A 20-point second quarter for Sidney. In that second stanza, they come up with a big output. And Gering went quiet. Sidney outscored him 20-8. Looks like Jack Franklin is good to go. He will start this half on the floor for Gering, and that's great news after he took that nasty spill, hit the back of his head with really no ability to brace his fall. With the way that play worked out, but he is back. Everybody feels comfortable with the situation, so good to see Jack Franklin on the floor ready to go for the second half. It'll be Gering basketball to start this quarter, and we'll see if they can maybe find their rhythm with Franklin back on the floor. Franklin has it. They'll dump it down low to Bonsack. He'll turn, jump hook with a right hand off the square. Ball loose on the floor. And this will be a whistle, jump ball. Sidney will have it. 32-26. Six-point lead in the Rock with Sawyer Dickman. He'll lob it to the high post to Schneider. Gets it right back to Dickman. Dickman, the defender backed off. Dickman got a clean look at a three, couldn't knock it down. Sidney saves it inbounds, but it goes right to Gering, and now a foul from behind will go against Wyatt Heckenlively. That'll be his second. Inbounds pass to Max Greeley. 40 seconds gone by. Rushlow on the catch. Now up top right side. They'll move it right wing, and a whistle and a travel on Max Greeley. 8th turnover of the game committed by Gering. Zach Burke to Heckenlively. They'll get it to Dickman. Left side, screen from Gunkel. He'll roll to the bucket, no pass. Now driving baseline, Heckenlively. Held for just a moment by Brett Pazanka. Second on Pazanka. Dylan Gunkel started the half for Sidney. He's got 3. Schneider with 2. Dickman with 2. Back to Sawyer Dickman. Schneider, he'll shoot the triple. Well off the mark, but he runs down his offensive rebound. It came off long, and now a reach-in foul. Is this on Pazanka? If so, it's number 3. It is. So just like that, 2 quick ones on Pazanka, and he'll have to leave the floor. Hunter Hayden will check in. Greeley got the start here in the second half for Hayden. Inbounds pass to Heckenlively. That 3 missed everything. Offensive rebound. Dickman a bucket and a foul. Sawyer Dickman has 7. The lead balloons to 8 now for Sidney. Chance to make it a 9-point lead. Sawyer Dickman at the line. Too strong. Rebounded by Hayden. Greeley will handle for the Bulldogs. With it is Bonsack. They get it to Rushlow. Double team comes. Rushlow fouled on the shot. He'll get 2 at the stripe. Probably a matter of how many, not if. How many foul out of this ball game. Both teams right around that 10 mark in the first half. 5 combined fouls already in the first minute. 30 in the second half is Rushlow. Hits the first, hits the second. Gering had just 1 field goal from the floor in the second quarter, a 3 from Brett Pazanka that tied the game. Other than that, just a few free throws, 5 of them. Gunkel spins, kept his pivot foot. Micah Schneider. Hand off to Heckenlively. Now Dickman. Dickman gets to the rim, and a scoop layup for Sawyer Dickman. He's got the first 4 for the Red Raiders here in the third quarter. Lead is 36-28 for Sidney. Franklin on the catch. Dribbles near the baseline, now circles back to the perimeter. Greeley right side. He'll enter to Bonsack down low. Caden Bonsack. Good fundamental, 1 bounce, strong take off the square. Bonsack with 2. Schneider. Jab steps against Bonsack. It's Zach Burke. Burke, Heckenlively, dumps it to Gunkel. Gunkel, Schneider, open 3. Got the friendly roll, Micah Schneider. Scored 18 points in the first 2 ball games, total 12 and 6. A little foul trouble. That's his first bucket of our game here today. He's got Sidney now with a 9-point lead. Underneath, Rushlow finishes with the left hand. 39-32. Lead is 7 for Sidney. Gunkel sets the screen. On the catch, Schneider. Cutting to the bucket. Saved in bounds. Sawyer Dickman's runner goes. He's got 6 points in the quarter. He's up to 11 for the game. Greeley, backdoor cut to Franklin. Jack Franklin got his first bucket post, smashing his head on the floor. Great to see him back out here. Jack's got 6 points. Cutting to the bucket. Gunkel knocked away out of bounds. Last touch by Sidney. Contesting was Rushlow. Joseph Van Ann will replace Hunter Hayden. Connor Hartzler comes on for Dylan Gunkel. 4:24 to go in the third quarter. Sidney leads it 41-34. Gering basketball. Greeley will bring it up the floor. Joseph Van Ann is bumped by Burke. That'll be a foul. Ally Property Management and Real Estate. From real estate to rental properties to property management, Ally is your friend in real estate. We've got a timeout, 30-second variety. We'll stay right here. Tell you about another great sports sponsor for us, Wells Fargo Advisors. For more than 125 years, those folks have been creating wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving their clients' personal financial goals. Call Ryan Windhorst at 632-7561. Together, you'll go far. Third quarter, first to three here at Scottsbluff today. Boys coverage for you on KMOR here for Gering. We'll have the boys game for Scottsbluff here on KMOR. All three on Allo and on KNEB.TV. 41-34. Sidney leads by 7. Gering will inbound near sideline. Comes to Van Ann. That's Joseph Van Ann. He's defender backs off. Van Ann airballs the three, and Sidney will get it back. Huskers lead Purdue 20-3, early second quarter. Schneider hands it off to Sawyer Dickman. Trying to stay hot, can't hit the three. Ball's loose on the floor. We're going to have multiple Bulldogs tying it up with Wyatt Heckenlively, and the possession arrow gives it to Gering. 3:50 to play here in the third. And the lead is 7 for the Red Raiders. Greeley across the timeline. They will lob it high, arcing lob pass down low to Rushlow. Just uses his big body. Can't get the lefty finish. Ball loose, picked up by Franklin. Fouled on the shot by Dickman. That'll be his third. Franklin short. (41-35) as Jack Franklin hits 1 and 2, and a foul in the backcourt. Goes against Jack. Second personal, fourth team foul. Jacob Dowse will get off the bench and check in for Sidney at the next dead ball. Bringing it across the timeline is Sawyer Dickman. He'll get it to Zach Burke. Burke loves to dribble and step back into that three. Saving it in bounds was Schneider, but right to Gering. Franklin looks to attack the rim. Shot would go. Board. Rushlow left it short. And here come the Red Raiders with Dickman. Sawyer Dickman, he's fouled. The whistles just won't stop right now in this one. Jacob Dowse comes on, replacing Heckenlively. Burke has it. Schneider cutting. He's fouled. And this could be a byproduct of 3 games in 3 days. Tired legs. You get a little bit lazy in your defensive stance. And now Sidney, ragged on the offensive end. Joe Wybera comes on now for Gering. Limited minutes, some quality minutes early in the first half. He scored 4 points in the first quarter. Max Greeley in trouble. Tried to find Bonsack. It was knocked away out of bounds. Greeley inbounds to Franklin. Franklin along the baseline right side. Tough angle shot. Really never got it anywhere near the rim. And here come the Raiders. Burke goes behind the back. Cut off in traffic. Falling away in the paint. And left it short. Just goes straight up. Probably score the bucket. Here comes Gering. 41-35. Raiders lead it by 6 with 2:20 to play in the third quarter. Franklin off the mark. And rebounded by Schneider. Pass ahead, and Sidney throws it away. Now Gering rifles a pass through the hands of Wybera. It's out of bounds. Heck and Lively and Gunkel will come back in. Hartzler and Burke will take a seat for Sidney. Pazanka will come back in for Gering with 3 fouls. He'll replace Jack Franklin. Pass for Sidney comes in near midcourt to Schneider. He'll look to hand it off to Sawyer Dickman, who has 6 points for the Red Raiders here in the third quarter. Sidney needs to get the ball to find a little help. Now Dickman's just going to fire from deep. And he drills a triple. He's got 9 points in the quarter, 9 of the 12. Sidney with their biggest lead of the game at 9, 44-35. That's Joseph Van An. Van An's bounce pass nearly stolen away by the Red Raiders, but it touches the baseline with a Red Raider on it, and it'll stay with the Bulldogs. Just under a minute and a half to play here in quarter number 3. Sidney leads it by 9, 44-35. Offensive foul on a moving screen set by Jacob Van An, and then Micah Schneider just pats him on the head to say it's okay as he walks by. Sidney lobs it in. Gering goes to some full court pressure. Into the front court with it. They'll set up with this offensive set, Dylan Gunkel. A little bit of a quickness mismatch as he's got the bigger, heavier Wybera defending, and just a sloppy play there by Sidney's Heck and Lively, and now Schneider reaches in and commits his third. Sidney's committed 4 turnovers in the third quarter. I think Schneider's going to come out with Zach Burke coming back on. 1:08 to go in the third. Lead is 9 for Sidney. Somebody getting their first win, somebody heading home, head down at 0-3. Greeley attacks the rim, and the ball is loose. A turnover. Third of the quarter for Gering. Sawyer Dickman fouled. That is the 8th team foul already against Gering, so Sidney in the 1-1 in the third quarter. At the stripe is Sawyer Dickman. Can't get the first, won't get the second. Gering trying to make a late little push here in the third quarter. Van An, quick trigger 3, no. Wybera offensive rebound off the iron. Rebounded by Dickman for the Red Raiders. Dickman will push. He's into the front court. Nobody stops ball. Lefty layup. Just poor defensive transition defense. Sawyer Dickman has 11 third-quarter points. Franklin has it for the Bulldogs. Left side, Greeley's going to shoot the three. Backside, rebound controlled by Dylan Gunkel. He'll slide the pass to Burke. 17 seconds to play. Sidney, we'll see if they can stay patient, poised, and get this final shot of the quarter. Up by 11, Burke with 7 on the clock, and he had his pocket pick from behind. No excuse for that. Ball is kept alive. Van Aanhoist, a ugly finish to the quarter from both teams in that final 20 seconds. After 3, it's Sidney up by 11, 46-35 on the West Coast scoreboard.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
Logos in Gering is the place to get all of your school spirit gear, personalized gifts, and promotional items for your business and employees and banners for any special event. Logos is also the only place to stop for custom screen printing or embroidery. You can even design it yourself on their interactive website. Stop into Logos today. They'll design it, print it, and have it to you in no time. There's no job too big or small for Logos. That's Logos in Gering.
Start of the fourth quarter here on KMOR and KDB.TV, 46-35. As Sidney outscores Gering 14-9 in the third, outscored him 20-8 in the second quarter. 11-point lead. That was after Gering led by 6 after 1. Sidney basketball as we start the final stanza. Heck and Lively catches high post. Up top, Dickman. And there's a turnover. Dickman's hot, probably just used the pump fake and shoot that free throw line jumper. Instead throws it to the wing, nobody home. Turnover, chance for Gering to get it into a single-digit deficit. Dribble handoff action out high. Greeley to Franklin. Heck and Lively just riding him defensively, and instead we're going to get a moving screen called against Gering's Caden Bonsang. Second foul on Bonsang. 30 seconds into the fourth. Douse on the floor for Sidney. For Gering, it's Greeley, Pazanka, Franklin, Bonsang, and Rushlow. Heck and Lively. Baseline jumper, foul number 4 on Dylan Gunkel. Just a silly foul, no need for it. Defender had clear box out position. You're playing with 3. Got to know down and distance, if you will, to use a football phrase there. Got to be smarter. Now Gunkel's going to have to come out of the game here on the next dead ball. Going to have to be smart right now and avoid a 5th while he's out there. Bonsack, Pazanka. 3 ball, barely drew iron. Gunkel grabs the miss. Minute plus gone by. We go under 6:50 to play in the game. Sawyer Dickman. Now they get a zone defense. Gering in a zone. Sidney gets an open 3. Backside board, no block out. That's the tricky part of the zone. Makes it tougher to box out. Backside rebound off the missed 3, and Jacob Dowse lays it in. Biggest lead of the game grows to 13 for Sidney. Franklin holds up one finger. They'll run the offensive set. Franklin to Greeley in the corner. Drives baseline. Runner goes. Greeley has 6. Ball tipped away. It'll stay with the Red Raiders. Hartzler comes on, replacing Gunkel, who sits with the 4 fouls. Jackson Schlotthauer replacing Sam Rushlow. Hartzler catches. Slides a bounce pass to Dickman. Dickman got in the air, luckily found Dowse. Now back to Dickman. Entry pass, good ball movement. That creates an open look for Zach Burke. The three wouldn't go. O-board Hartzler. And Sidney will set it up again. Burke passed on that three-point shot from the same spot he just missed. Now Dickman. He'll shoot over top of the zone. Sawyer Dickman is on fire here in the second half. He's got 19 points, 14 of them after halftime. 51-37. Biggest lead of the game now at 14. Bonsack down low. Can't get it. Knocked out of bounds by Schlotthauer, and it'll go to Sidney. Danger zone time now for Gering. Down 14. Need a big defensive possession right here. Gering plays zone. Lob pass, open look, Dickman. Now Burke. They're putting those two on the same side of the floor. Heck and Lively, and that's a turnover. So Gering got the stop they needed, or at least the help they needed, as a turnover from Sidney. Right side, now top of the key, Greeley. Too strong, or short, I should say, on the triple. Loose ball, Gering has it on the O board. Franklin in the right corner. Greeley's going to fire away again. This one goes. Big time shot needed for Gering. Greeley's got all 5 for the Dogs here in the fourth. Sidney's leads 11, 51-40. Heck and Lively catches on the right wing. Back to Dickman. Thought about the three. Now he drives along the baseline. And the layup for 2. Sawyer Dickman has a season high 21 points. He had 19 on opening night. 13-point lead. Foul away from the basketball. Foul on Hartzler, his 4th. Bonsack at the stripe, able to convert the first. One and 2, offensive rebound, Pazenka. Straight up defensively, doesn't stop Brett from getting it high off the backboard. And a 3-point possession for Gering. Brent Pazenka has 7. Sidney's lead is 10, 53-43. And a foul called against Jack Franklin. Third on Franklin. Burke can't get it to go. Double bonus. And that could be huge in helping Sidney try and put this game away. Burke gets 1 and 2. Lead is 54-43. 54-2. There's the legend Mark Moran in the house. Over in the near corner. Gering nearly turns it over. Now they do. Left side wing. Zach Burke. Jab steps. Gets it to Gunkel. Now Heck and Lively. Sawyer Dickman's been the man of the hour, and as soon as I say it, he just throws it right to Jack Franklin. Sidney's turned it over 16 times, and now a foul on Heck and Lively. Greeley at the line. Second on the way from Max Greeley. Got them both. Timeout on the floor. Taken by Sidney. They've got a 9-point lead. Will step away. Red Raiders up by 9 on the West Coast scoreboard.
We do 2 pictures just like we've done in the past, one straight down and one from the side, but it's better in the fact that they're going to get called back less, there's greater accuracy, and it's a lot easier to find it in dense breasts. A woman should start getting their mammos at age 40 every year, and 1 in 8 people get breast cancer, so it's the best way to find it is early detection.
Western CPAP Supply has earned an impeccable professional reputation within the Wyoming and Western Nebraska region. Helping you get a good night's sleep is our passion. Our professional team understands sleep disorders from a personal and professional level because we have sleep disorders too. We use CPAP every night, and sometimes it just helps to work with people who share common ground. Our accredited CPAP supply company is approved by Medicare and Medicaid and is in network with most major insurance companies in the region. Western CPAP Supply. We're here to help.
54-2. Sidney beat Alliance in girls action today. Sawyer Dickman, nearly another turnover. Now we get an errant buzzer from the scorer's table. That was a timing error. Had 31 seconds listed on the clock. It should be 3:10. Looks like they've got that sorted out. 54-45. Sidney up 9. They've got the basketball. Still a young team here for Austin Lewis, and this is where it gets tricky, trying to stay composed and close out a ball game when you've got a 9-point lead. Can't just expect that the W is going to happen. You've got to go earn it, be smart, and do what's got you to this point. And that could mean just get Sawyer Dickman the basketball. Schneider. Now Gunkel. Handoff action. Dickman has it up top. And they turn it over. Now we're going to get a jump ball to call. It'll go to Gering. Chance to draw to within 7, maybe 6 with a made 3 or an old-fashioned 3-point play. Bringing it up the floor. Now Bonsack catches on the entry pass. Turnover committed by Gering. On the catch is Schneider. Ball loose, picked up by Max Greeley. Out ahead, Franklin has it for Gering. Up top, Bonsack. I've got Sidney down for 18 turnovers as they struggle trying to close this thing out with 2:04 to play. Up by 9, a foul's going to go against Dickman. Greeley left it short. Zach Burke, quick shot on the offensive end. The 3 won't go. Loose on the floor. Gering's got it. Still down 9. 1:47 to go. And a carry. Crucial turnover there committed by Gering. Down to 1:47 to go in the ball game. Sidney leads 54-45. Dickman gets it to Burke. Burke attacks the rim. He'll lay it up and in. Back to a double-digit lead. Zach Burke has 11 in the ball game. Franklin swings it to Jacob Van An. Back to Jack Franklin. Right side with it, Pazanka. Van An catches left wing. Posting Rushlow. We're under 1:20 to play. And a timeout taken by Kyle Cotton, who's frustrated with the way the offense is running. It'll be a full timeout. We'll break with them. 56-45. Sidney up 11 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home.
The holidays are a time to connect with family, with friends, with each other. After a busy year, the holidays are the perfect time for laughing together, playing together, talking together, and celebrating together. Spend time this holiday season connecting with the people that mean the world to you, and let Allo take care of the connectivity.
Huskers leading Purdue 27-10 here at Scottsbluff High. It's Sidney out in front of Gering in boys action, 56-45 with under a minute and a half to go. Rushlow on the catch down low, gets it off the square for two. He's got 8. Full court pressure now from Gering. Can they make a late push? Burke and Dickman on the same side of the floor, the two most trusted ball handlers for the Red Raiders. Sawyer Dickman will give it to Zach Burke. Burke trying to dribble through traffic, had it knocked away. Hecken Lively picks it up. Now Dickman. Sawyer Dickman leads all scorers. He has 21 points. It's loose. Gering comes up with a steal. 20 turnovers now unofficially committed by Sidney. 40 seconds to go. Rushlow catches in the paint. He's fouled on the shot. 9-point lead. Austin Lewis, the head coach for Sidney, just telling his kids, just go straight up. Keep your feet planted on the floor. Go straight up and down. Foul on Dowse, his first. 10th team foul, double bonus time. Rushlow can't get it. Rushlow gets one of two. Timeout taken by Sidney. With 35 seconds to play, the Red Raiders lead it by 8, 56-48 on the West Coast scoreboard.
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home, with the new Build Your Own tool at 21stcenturyequipment.net.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
High school basketball coverage for you on the Rural Radio Network. Late here in the fourth quarter, under 35 seconds to go. We're at 34.3. Sidney will inbound against some full court pressure. Burke on the handle and a reach-in foul called against. I think that's going to be Greeley for Gering. It will. Second on Greeley. And now at the foul line, Zach Burke trying to get it back to a 10-point cushion here for the Red Raiders. Zach Burke hits the first. He's got 12 points. Pazanka, Rushlow, and Bonsack back on. The Van Ans leave. And Burke able to knock down both. He's got 5 points in the quarter, 13 for the game. And you just can't foul if you're Sidney. You're up by 10. And now you stop the clock and you give the Bulldogs a chance to score with no time coming off. Rushlow short on the first. Hunter Hayden seen his minutes go down a little bit here in the second half. Rushlow gets 1 of 2. Rushlow's got 10, and another timeout taken by Sidney. This will be a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. High school basketball coverage. Let's tell you about Hydrotex, your lubrication solution partner, a member of the Holiday family of companies. Hydrotex is proud to support all local athletes, and make sure you contact Jennifer Urdialis, your local 5-star lender with Castle and Cook Mortgage, for a simple, friendly, and fast loan process for your home purchase or refinance. Contact Jennifer today. That's Castle and Cook Mortgage, the key to your castle. Sidney looks to be in good shape here to pick up a win in the Western Conference tournament. They lob it into Schneider offensively. He's got just 3, scored 12 on opening night, had 6 last night. Van An, and Hayden check out. Schneider makes it, nope. Rimmed down on him, still a 9-point lead. With it is Jack Franklin. Sidney just cannot foul in this situation. Ball loose underneath. Rushlow, too strong off the glass. Ball loose. Bonsack saves it inbounds. It goes to Sidney. Hecken Lively has it. And they'll get it to Burke. And I'm not sure if anyone will foul the rest of the way. 3 seconds to go, and Sidney is going to get the win. Now we get a late foul. Hoisting at the buzzer was Brett Pazanka. 58-49 is the final score. Red Raiders pick up their first win of the year. They are 1-2, and Gering drops to 0-3. Your final once again, the first of 3 here at Scottsbluff High in the boys bracket. 58-49 the final. Sidney knocks off Gering here on our West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Elite Physical Therapy, FNBO, A. Elliott Law, Northfield Retirement, and by Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft.
Just what I needed. This bed is just right.
So come on over to Leith Heads.
New season and new fashion is in at Compliments for you and your home. Check out what's new from Tribal and Charlie B. From light layers for warm days and cool nights to reversibles that are a must-have for the season. Compliments has the style for you. With great looks come great deals. Compliments always has weekly deals to bring more style into your life. Get ahead of the trends and get the new shapes, shades, and colors this season at Compliments for you and your home. 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
Runs a post-game show time. Game 1 of 3 here for today at Scottsbluff. Gering falls to Sidney by the score of 58-49. Sawyer Dickman, a big output game here offensively. He had 21. A lot of fouls in this ball game. To be expected, I guess. Tired legs coming off games back-to-back nights and now playing a third straight for the opening weekend of the season. Gering drops to 0-3. We'll see if we get some post-game coaches' comments here coming up shortly from Gering head coach Kyle Cotton. Get you these scoring totals passed along right now. We'll start with Sidney. And Sawyer Dickman mentioned he had 21 to lead all scorers. Zach Burke with 13 points. Wyatt Heckenlively, 8. Dylan Gunkel, 8. 3 apiece, Micah Schneider and Jacob Dowse. And Connor Hartzler finished with 2. We'll come back, give you the Gering scoring totals right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
When you call Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating, you will have options. Repair it, rebuild it, or update it. Whether your furnace stops working or your bathtub won't drain, Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating provides the services you need to be comfortable. Weekends, holidays, or late nights, we will be there. With over 30 years of service, our certified technicians and cutting-edge technology can keep your systems running at their peak efficiency. Gering Valley Plumbing and Heating, every time we enter your home, we leave it a better place to live.
Sidney knocks off Gering in boys action 58-49 for their first win of the season. Gering drops to 0-3. Here's the box score for Gering. Check on the numbers brought to you by Paul Reed Construction. They also feature the Rock Pile Division Service and Equipment. Leading the way in the score column was Max Greeley with 11 points. Sam Rushlow in double figures with 10. 7 points apiece for Brett Pazank and Jack Franklin. 2 each, 4 points early in the first half for Joe Wybera off the bench. Some, not a lot of minutes, but quality when he was in there, and 2 apiece for Joseph Van Ann and Hunter Hayden. That's a check on the scoring for today for the Gering High Bulldogs, and we'll wait and see if we can catch up with head coach Kyle Cotton. If we can, great. If not, totally understandable. Back end of 3 straight, and trying to get as much conversation and coaching time in with your kids in the locker room before you're told to leave the building with everything going on. So 58-49, we'll come back and get to our Taco John's Player of the Game right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Travis Hawk, Panhandle Co-op, Paul Reed Construction, and by Ideal Linen.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Gering falls to Sidney, 58-49. Let's get to our Gering Taco John's player of the game. We're going to go with Sam Rushlow down in the paint. The 6'3 junior scored in double figures with 10, provided Gering with a nice post presence, got into basketball at times, and really not just Rushlow, but Bonsack and off the bench Joe Wybera kind of gave Gering a little bit more than what we'd seen the first two nights as far as offensive ability in the post from the Bulldogs. So Sam Rushlow, your Taco John's player of the game today for Gering. Make Taco John's a game day tradition. Unwrap the original before or after every game. We'll come back and wrap up our broadcast right after this on the Rural Radio Network.
Coverage of the 2020 Western Conference Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Travis Hawk, Panhandle Co-op, All Reed Construction, and by Ideal Linen.
Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge. What is Hydrozen? It's total body relaxation. It's total body recharge. It's floating weightless on water. Floating your aches, pains, stresses, and worries away. Hydrozen is a revolutionary new therapy using Epsom salt saturated water as a way to relax and rejuvenate your body. And it's now available in Scottsbluff. It is for most ages and has many benefits to the mind and body. Visit hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT.
Gering falls in the first of three here at Scottsbluff High School today. The final score as the Sidney Red Raiders pick up their first one of the year. They beat Gering 58-49. Up next will be Shadron and Mitchell. We'll close things out at 2 o'clock with the title game between Scottsbluff and Alliance. We'll sign off for now on KMOR until just ahead of tip-off for game number 3, and then we'll be back on KNEB.TV about 5 minutes ahead of tip-off here. We'll get back on here in 15 minutes or so ahead of Shadron and Mitchell on the boys' side. That'll do it for now. We'll be back with TV coverage shortly. Radio on KMOR for Scottsbluff and Alliance a little bit later on this afternoon.
Taxpayer dollars will be involved in the building of this. So this is be done really within Husker Athletics and the generosity of our donors, which, as you point out, is extraordinary. I don't know that there's any other state in the country that supports their state university like Nebraska.
Let's switch